Well, hello everyone. I'm Rachel Tessman from StampYourArtOut.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Andover, Minnesota in the US, and I'm here to bring you a special online paper crafting class today. I'm going to try not to worry about the clock because there's so much to share. Stampin' Up! Has released a whole new line of products. Well, the beginning of a whole new line of products called the Stampin' Hot Foil System, or Stampin' Hot Foil line, I should call it. And it is all about hot foiling, which has been something that has been around for a few years. I know that Spellbinders has a glimmer machine, and Ange McKay, fellow demonstrator, has been using that for a while and did a comparison. All the demonstrators that are out there right now, thank you so much for all the sharing you've been doing. I'm learning so much from you, and now I'm trying to take that information that I'm sharing and bring it to my viewers on my YouTube channel. So hopefully you gain some more knowledge that maybe you didn't know about. I don't know. But we have this new line of products and it debuted today. Already orders are coming in. People are buying this system and it's amazing. I have a feeling it's going to be pretty darn popular. It's something that Stampin' Up! Is investing in big time. Like there's future products being released in upcoming like catalogs and releases and all that stuff. So they're investing in it. And so it's kind of like, do you remember when the Sizzix Big Shot came around and Stampin' Up! Partnered with Sizzix and we brought in this new die cutting embossing machine? Well, this to me feels similar. It's an initial investment in a pricier little contraption, but once you have it in your hands, you are going to love it. You're going to be addicted. It's going to be around for a while. The price in the US for the system alone is $160. So we're going to talk about that as we go. Like how can you just drop that much money on it, right? But I'm going to show you all the ins and outs that I can today with this new system, what you would need with it. And yeah, we'll just play today. Questions I'm going to try to answer too. We don't have Trisha Josephs with us today. She's usually here for moderating and answering questions, but I'm going to try to do it on my own. And so again, I'm not going to worry about the time. We're just going to roll with it and see what happens. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for supporting my channel in different ways. I appreciate you all. And thanks for being here. I was a little nervous, I have to admit. Before the live began, there were no comments, and usually there's like, a good length of comments coming in right before my live begins. And I'm like, shoot, it's like 2 minutes before and nobody's commenting. So then I was trying to work on making a new link, thinking that there was some kind of technical glitch. And then comments started coming. So thank you for joining me. I was like, oh my gosh, am I all alone or what's happening? Today is, what day is it? I'm gonna grab a Kleenex really quick. It's like 70 degrees in my house. When it's 70 degrees, my nose drips. It's like a Tessman thing. All right. Today is July 10th, 2026 on Friday as I'm coming to you live. Again, the system is basically debuted today, this morning. So you can purchase. There are links in my video description. I waited until this morning to put all that information in there. So if you do want to shop from the products, you can go ahead and click on those links. Let's go to the desktop. And some of you are demonstrators. I love this. People are chiming in. I love my system because you were able to pre-order it. So back in March, Stampin' Up! Had this convention called On Stage. And those of us that attended were able to see this and swear to secrecy. And so then it released to the whole demonstrator base as far as knowledge goes, right? And then eventually on the 23rd of June, we were able to do a sneak peek purchase. And so we've been having fun. There's a lot of fun creations out there. You're gonna, if you like any kind of glitz, glimmer, glow, shine, then you're like me and you're gonna love this system. So this is the way it comes. It comes in 2 different boxes. You get a box just for the plug, the cord, and that will work with whatever country or, wherever you're at purchasing this, okay? Because it's a global product from Stampin' Up! And then you have the box, which I think is amazing. It's a nice box because look at this formed, recyclable piece of cardboard here that fits everything. Like you have your directions, you have your actual system, you have your silicone mats, 2 of them. You have your, gosh, what are they called? Let me just tell you all the pieces, okay? So, and look at that, like you could store it in there. I didn't want to throw mine away until I showed it to you because it's a great little storage thing here, okay? All right, so I love the comments rolling in already. You guys are so excited. This is so fun. Okay, so what are the pieces? We have the platform. This is the hot foil platform, the Stampin' hot foil platform. We have the hot foil shim. This is the shim. It's green, greenish. And then we have the spacer, the hot foil magnetic pickup tool. This is great, and it's sold on its own. So are these, by the way, if you need replacements. But this is sold on its own. So let's say you're looking for something in your room and it's metal. You can just like search for it like this and it'll pick it up. It's awesome. And then you just push this to release the magnet and it drops. Anyways, there's that. So there's 4 parts so far. You also have the silicone platform station, which is this, and the silicone cooling pad. So there's 2 silicone mats. This one's for cooling your dies after you're done using them. This one is for basically positioning your system onto something to protect your surface. And then of course you have the power cord. So those are the pieces you get for the 160 in the US, okay? So you would set it up like this. You'd put that on that surface. The part that's hot is this gray area. Okay, you can touch the white area, just don't touch the gray area when you start to heat it up. And then you also have your plug, okay? Your plug is pretty big. It comes in like 2 parts. And then you plug it in. So we're gonna go ahead and plug it into our wall. Okay, we have it all set up. And I'm gonna put it off to my right. And I'll try to keep it in the camera, but I just wanna make sure that my plug is not gonna drop. I know what I'll do. I'll put my stool up here. I'll put that, there's a big middle part of the plug and I don't want it to drop. So we'll just put that on my stool. There, I think I got it. Now I can move this more, okay? So here is the system and you can see that there's lights down there. Oh my gosh, so these lights are indicators and you hear noises too. So this will tell you what steps you're on. Right now, we have the red light flashing. It's red. I saw this on Susan's video too last night. It looks yellow in the video. It's red. It's flashing red and it's telling me, wait, it's not ready yet. And and this magnet, by the way, is, or this plug is magnetic. So you just put it in there and it clicks in. It's awesome. So that is one of the big differences between the Spellbinders system right now, their current one, and the Stampin' Up one is the plug. That's what Ange McKay shared with us. With the current one that Spellbinders has, it's like in this big base and you shove the contraption in to plug it in, but then you have to pull it out and it kind of sometimes moves your dies around and stuff like that so that things shift. And so this is a better improvement on that. And Spellbinders, by the way, is partnered with Stampin' Up in manufacturing the one that we have, just so you know. So Spellbinders is also releasing one similar to this in a month or so or whatever, but we got to release ours first. So it's exciting. So I'm not sure if it's going to be an exact replica, but we're told it's going to be very similar. And this is the Stampin' Up one and it's so pretty. Okay, so we've got it plugged in. We've got the lights flashing. I'm just going to pull this into the view more. And this is the silicone mat that we're going to put our dies on afterwards. I'm going to shove that off to my right. These are the things, actually I'm going to shove that off to my right too. These are the things that we're going to need right now. The instruction manual. Don't throw this away until you're really well versed. This little operating instructions here comes with some great step-by-step photos on the front and the back here. Gives you the parts and pieces that you're going to be using. It gives you steps, right? So you're going to place it on the silicone platform. You're going to plug it in. Excuse me, and it's going to snap into place. And then you're going to see the lights flashing. The platform will beep when you start it. And then during the heating, which is approximately 6 to 10 minutes, the timer button, the red one, is going to flash. When the machine is ready, oh my goodness, I need water. When the machine is ready, then we click the white power button, which it looks like it's a little timer kind of button or something. Anyways, okay, then we're gonna put our dies on. So let's take a look at what dies we're gonna use for our first project. These are special dies, you guys. All right, so I got a few things to go with my system. Oops, I got my plastic here that holds my stamp. Let me put that over here. I got this bundle. So this is the one that will work with the hot foil system. This is actually a stamp that coordinates with it. You can buy it as a bundle and save 10%. It's called Botanical Glow. So what does that look like? This is the die. And the die actually feels soft and satiny. It's a slightly less shiny surface than a regular die. Let me show you some other ones here. Here, I'll show you the difference on these. So this is another one that we're going to play with today. And now you can see the difference between regular dies, which are a little shinier, and the hot foil dies, which are softer and satiny, and they actually feel soft too. So this here is what goes on the plate. These do not. So this is a hot foil die. And then I've got my stamp set up on my platform from my positioner. We do have a nice large block if you want to use that instead, but I prefer when I have a larger one to use it with my Stampin' positioner. So I have that all set and ready to go for when it's time to stamp. All right. And I think we're going to stamp first. I think that's the step we're going to do first. So let me bring over, I think I have everything I need over here. Okay, let me bring over paper. Paper, what kind of paper works with hot foiling? Smooth paper, the smoother the better. Okay, if you have a typical regular cardstock from Stampin' Up that's dyed all the way through, milled paper is what we call it, that has a slight, like a little bit more of a texture to it. And so Stampin' Up is recommending the two-toned, as you can see, two-tone cardstock has two different sides to it. So you could choose, it's like you get two colors for the price of one. Anyways, this comes in 12 by 12. I cut it down to 4 by 5 1/4. And we're going to do some stamping on this first. So let's just set that a little over here for a minute. Let's set up our positioner. And I'm gonna grab my ink. We're gonna use Pretty Peacock on Pretty Peacock, okay? It's better? Okay, this is great. I'm reading some comments now. I love it. I haven't caught the comments that you've been saying lately. Sorry, you guys. So if there's any questions that you have, I'm looking up now because I've kind of done my little introduction. I'm inking up my stamp on my platform here with my ink, my paper, Pretty Peacock ink. I'm going to close that up and get out of the way. We're going to have lots of things happening on this table today, so we want to make sure that we don't have messes. I am going to use the lighter side of my paper. So I didn't even mark where this is supposed to be sitting. So we're gonna have to kind of like hover this again and see. I think I have it up, maybe on that one. Maybe a little more. I think I had it right about there. Yes, okay. So I'm gonna ink it on that spot. I'm gonna put a couple magnets here. I think this is the area where I can put 2 magnets. That looks pretty good. We'll put one more down here just to hold our paper in place. My ink took some drying time. Hang on, we're gonna ink it again. Can you use the foiling dies as normal dies? No, they don't cut. The foiling dies do not cut. They just heat and transfer foil. You can use the dies that are within bundles, like that one alphabet number set that I just showed you. You can use those dies as regular dies because they are. But the hot foiling dies cannot be used for cutting or embossing. Okay, did you hear that little beep? There is a little beep that happened, and now we have this white button flashing instead of the red one. So when we're ready, we're gonna go ahead and click that, but I'm not gonna put my die on it yet because we're not quite ready. So let us put this down onto our paper. And I'm gonna use the back of my hand here, my fist area, to move it around to get some nice even coverage, lifting it up. That looks good. Okay, so we have our stamped image on here. And we're gonna pull this stuff away, put it off to the side. The thing with this stamp image and the coordinating hot foil die is you can see they're not an exact replica of each other. They're meant to be that way. There's no lining up that needs to be done. We're going to put this on top of this image with the hot foiling, and it's gonna have like a whole new layer of leaves, just so you know, okay? I think you heard someone say not to stamp first. You can stamp first. You can do it either way. So I have done it both different ways, and Stampin' Up! Has shared it in both different ways as well. But yes, you can stamp second, and then because the ink sits on the foil, you would use a tissue to wipe off any ink that kind of touched the foiled areas. But yeah, we can go ahead and stamp first. We're gonna do that, which we did. Now we're gonna bring this over because this is gonna be the star of the show right now. And again, you can touch the white sides, all the white parts, just don't touch the gray surface. It's at this point that you'd wanna follow your directions and get used to the system of how to work this, right? The step-by-step. So now we're on the step number 4, and we're going to place the die. Look at, they're using the same one we have. They're gonna place the die flat side down. So flat side goes down on top of our little gray grid here. Then we push the white button and we wait for the yellow to turn to green. Okay, so there's a little bit of warming time. Now what we're doing is we're warming up that die. Yeah, you know, I haven't heard any issues with that, Judy, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep doing it this way. My card that I have finished looks similar. The ink looks the same to me. So maybe it depends on the ink, but yeah, haven't heard any issue with that. And again, Stampin' Up! Did demonstrate it and talk about that you could do it either way. Can you use this machine with the Sizzix? No, you cannot. It was discovered when demonstrators started buying it, that this particular hot foil system does not fit into the Sizzix Big Shot. We're not partnered with Sizzix anymore, so the machine was made for our system. So you'd want to have the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine or something with a wide enough base. So this here is the issue. The distance between here and here is what's causing the problem with the Big Shot, is the Big Shot has a narrower opening. So let's see what else. Before foil, better foil before stamp then cut. Find the final look better and smoother. I haven't had an issue with that, but I do want to show you what I did. Oh, did you see that? It turned green. In fact, I've seen other demonstrators demonstrate it this way too. So sorry for those of you that are set on doing the the stamping after the foiling, but again, I haven't had an issue with it. Really like that the stamps are a little different than the hot foil. It gives it a nice layered look. You're right, Susan. And plus with this one, if you are to stamp on it first and then put it down, you can't line it up because you're blind when you put these two together. So these two are gonna kiss. The surface that I want to be heated is gonna kiss with the top of the die. This is ready to go. So we're now gonna take our foil, and I'm gonna use some of the gold foil. We have gold and we have silver and we have pink right now. And I forgot to pre-cut this. So let me cut this really quick. I'm gonna cut this with my trimmer off to the right here, and I will show you. Okay, so I'm cutting it with my actual trimmer. You can just slice it. You can cut it with the scissors. It's very thin. All right, so then we're gonna lay it on here and we're gonna put it on top of our die. And then we're gonna connect this with that, like that. Okay, so they're kissing together and the shiny side goes down for the foil. So if you want your gold to be in contact with your paper, You actually have to put it upside down, which doesn't make sense at first, but that's the way it works. Then you put your shim on. Your shim is the green one. Now I can start touching this surface. In fact, I could even touch the top of my paper because the heat is kind of like protected from the paper for some reason. I don't know, I haven't gotten burnt yet. So then we put this on top, and this is the spacer. We unplug and we bring it to the machine. So we're gonna take this machine. I'm gonna move this just slightly so I can bring this into view. And for this, you don't need any other sandwich pieces. You just need this. Some people are choosing to put their shim and their spacer and all their papers and layers on top of this once it's on your platform like this to avoid any shaking or movement. It's up to you, and you kind of will get in a system of your own that works for you. I haven't found any issues with that yet. The one thing you do want to keep in mind though, as you crank, I like to keep my finger here to keep the plates down, and then you want to go slow, okay? So we're going to go slow with the cranking so that the foiling is connecting with the paper, and that sandwich, the rollers in there are putting pressure along with the heat to transfer that foil to your paper. So now we can take, and see how I'm lifting this? I can lift the whole thing. As long as I'm not touching the gray area, I'm good to go. I'm going to bring this and put it back over here. When I first used this, I was at my upline's house for an event, and I was so nervous. Oh yeah, you know what we have here? We do have a little bit of transfer because I let it heat too long. So I'm going to talk about that too. In fact, we might cut a new piece because I was going kind of slow on the teaching part. But let me just reveal this here and show you what it looks like. It's so pretty, you guys. Oh, it didn't go. Okay, good. I'm going to show you the one that I had an issue with. And I think it's because what I did is I took this and I heated this at the same time I was heating the platform. So from the beginning, like I plugged it in, put the die on there, heat everything. And overheating can cause your surface and everything else to get more hot than it needs to be. And then what you can have is like picked up little grid lines on here on your paper. And I thought I was going to have that because it looked like it was connected to it, but it didn't do that. So look at that beautiful result. Isn't that stunning, you guys? It's so gorgeous. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. You're going to have a little bit of foiling that connects with your shim, and that's probably why they have the extra, like you can get replacements for these things here if you want to. But it's not going to damage your projects that you're making. You're not going to have any issues with that. In fact, Stampin' Up! Just reminded us that it's just showing that it's a well-loved plate or shim, and you're good to go. Some people are even taking like cardstock instead of this and using it instead. There is a little bit of a staticky kind of thing that happens when you put this shim on. Sometimes your paper shifts on you. And so if you saw, I had my finger on top of the paper as I was putting this down because I didn't want this to move the paper. So that might be why people, well, that is why people are using the cardstock, but also it creates a slightly lower connection with the rollers if you are having issues such as this. So there you can see I picked up, this was last night I did this, I picked up some of the heat from the grid. That can also be from having a too big of a foil piece, but when you have a shape that's odd like that, it's really hard to cut it into the shape. So you pretty much have to put your rectangle or square on it, right? Okay. Yes, you can do that too, Judy. You can push, okay, so that was another thing. This little plug-in here, instead of pulling it, you don't have to pull it, you can push it down. I tip mine up. I'm a tipper because I do have an Apple computer. So when I remove my plug, instead of pushing it down, which you could do, you could also, because it's magnet, lift it up. But in either case, it's not the system that Spellbinders had where there's like a plug here and you have to kind of jolt it. Again, they're improving theirs. So I just tip mine up like that and pull it away, whatever works for you. I love this machine so much, says Susan. Worth every penny. Oh, love it. And I think you were saying that you need a new foil, but you can get that now, Susan, because it's order day and there's no limits anymore. Now this piece here is gorgeous and we hate throwing it away. Stampin' Up! Has given us little hints that we are going to be having a die that is a flat die. so that when we want to transfer a whole image like that, we put this whole thing down on a flat die, and then we put our paper on, and it will transfer the negative image onto that. Now, some people are taking and using adhesive sheets and putting it on the back side and then just sticking it down on their paper so that they have the whole thing plus the plastic backing on their projects. What I'm doing with this right now is I'm saving it because there is another product, and let me show you now the brochure. Bring you over there. Oops, hang on. Here's the brochure that you can have access to. If you go to my website at stampyourartout.com, there at the bottom of every post, there's information about promotions and things going on. And there is one that contains the PDF for this hot foiling brochure. So you can click on that and you can actually access this PDF. So this is a short little PDF full of the products that are currently available. The die that I want to bring you to is one that's super popular. It's this one here, and I'm going to zoom in so you can see it. It's called, and let's see if I can, let's see here. It's right here. This one here. It's called Garden Silhouette. So you know how, and I'm going to pick up this die now. I better show you here. So you pick up the die with the magnet. You let it go with the button. Okay, so you know how the back side of the magnets are flat? This one is a whole background die. So it's a rectangular flat side. It's got a rectangular flat side. And people are taking and turning it over. So they're using this side of it. They're heating it up that way. And then they're taking the foil and putting it against and transferring it onto paper. So there has been a workaround figured out already. I haven't got that one, so I just purchased it today. Oh, I forgot to tell you, this is your little cooling thing, right? So I'm gonna just place it on here and we're gonna put that off to the side to let it cool. Okay, back to this. So again, let me just scroll through here so you can see it. I'll keep it close up so you can see everything, okay? So we have, I think this is the first page, yeah. So you can see that we have shimmering scenes. And when you see the plus sign, that means that they're bundling it with something else so that you can save. This is US pricing, by the way. Here's the Botanical Glow. You can buy just the stamp set, you can buy just the die, or you can buy it together. Then we have this Butterfly Flight Bundle, which is super popular. It's the first one I wanted and I have it. I will show things with that too. Echoes of Detail, so cool for that grungy kind of, I don't know, eclectic kind of like just, I love it. Organic, earthy, so you can layer, there's so many cool things with that. Then you have Flourish and Frames, you have Sweetly Sentimental, you have that Garden Silhouette, Classic Greetings, and then the Luxe Alphabet Numbers and Swiss Dots foil dies. The foil comes in 3 colors, and then they show you some fun samples throughout that brochure. Okay, we're gonna move on and we're gonna finish up this project. Let me take you back to the desktop. So we're gonna move this out of the way for now, put it on my bench. Okay, so again, this from overheating typically. I did notice that they tell you to use a white eraser, which is like something like this, right? But do you see on the two-tone cardstock, it actually eliminates some of the color of the cardstock if you're using an eraser like that. So this eraser, actually like a gummy eraser, worked a little bit better, but you kind of have to rotate it as you go to get cleaner spots to eliminate the excess foiling. Like if you get it between or places like that, you can use an eraser. And I like the gummy eraser right now. That's my choice. All right, let's put together, put this over here. Let's put together our card really quickly. So this card is almost finished. What I want to do with this is add a little bit of speckling. So I'm going to take my bone folder because I like tapping against the bone folder. I don't know, it's just a nice hard tool. Oops, let me zoom in. It's very pretty. I have the old Sizzix die cut machine. I'd have to buy both machines. Current budget, yes, it's an investment, Debbie. I agree. Can you explain about the Garden Silhouette again? I don't understand the issues. Garden Silhouette, again, it's that big, huge, it's like one big die. So instead of having a shape to it, okay, it's cool enough now. Instead of having a shape to it like this one, it's a rectangle. And so when you flip it over, it's a big flat rectangle. And that's how you can do that transfer of your negatives. I'm going to save this in my pile of negatives back here because that I'm going to do with that plate when I get it. So I'm going to use the bone folder, take the brush end of my dark Pretty Peacock blends and just do a little bit of tapping to get a few little speckles of color on the surface of this paper. And I'm going to show you that real quick so you can see. Can you see the little speckles in there? So now we have freckles. All right. Oh yeah, let's shout out. What are your favorite bundles? Debbie says she likes the letters and words. I mean, leaves. I'm all about leaves, layering leaves stamp set, right? Butterflies. So those are the two things I had to have. And then I got the letters and the words. Those were my third. Shout out what your favorites are, because I still have more coming. Okay, I think I'm going to take this one here because it's a little more used. And I'm going to tap Wink of Stella now. And Wink of Stella, if you don't have Wink of Stella, after this video, if you buy one thing, at least buy Wink of Stella. It is so cool. Look at the little speckles of shimmer, which is, oh, there we go. It's always hard to get it in the light, but now you can see little speckles of shimmer on there. And it's like dust. I mean, it's so fine that, yeah. Heard that the dies can be used with the impressions plate as well. Oh, interesting, Donna. I haven't tried that. Okay, so now we're going to take this and we're going to layer it onto some gold, but we don't want to use up all that gold. I mean, that's like a waste, right? So let's take our trimmer and we're going to do like a 1/2 inch border cut all the way around. So we'll just put it in here. This piece is slightly larger than my other one. It's about 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So I'm just cutting a 1/2 inch in. I'm using this side of my trimmer to cut half of an inch in. The leaves are your favorite? Love it. Thanks, Debbie. Butterflies for Melinda. The butterflies, you guys, they're so cool. I cannot tell you. I love that the butterflies, they don't come with stamps like the leaves do, but they come with masks, stencil kind of things, right? So that you can fill in the color and get it precisely within the image. So now I have this little border. I'm going to cut this nicely because we're going to use this for another piece. So hang on, let me cut this nicely. Okay, so this piece is now going to pair up with this piece, which I've already cut to size. This is 3 by 4 1/4. We're going to do another thing where we cut 1/2 inch in all the way around. Flourishes and frames for Donna. The butterflies for Jan. This is where I need a true gold and silver shimmer brush. Yeah, you know, the shimmer brushes that we have are in colors right now. This is why I still prefer the Wink of Stella, because it's kind of like just a champagne-ish color, so it's a light gold, but it almost can go with silver too sometimes. The grunge is your favorite? I love it. Thanks, Elena, right? And Marie can't pick one. All right, I'm gonna put the trimmer over here. We're gonna start layering this all up. I do have some Pretty Peacock cardstock that I've already cut and scored to size. Use the bone folder to press that flat. And then, because this border is a little small, I'm gonna use my seal adhesive very close to the edges of my back of my big layer, okay? Because we're gonna pop this up onto dimensionals. We're gonna add it to our card so that's raised up. And if we don't have any adhesive coming outside those areas, it'll work, okay? I'm thinking it's gonna be a lot of fancy Christmas cards mailed this year. I agree with you, because you know what, like this one here alone, I'll show you something that I grabbed, because I was gonna turn this into Christmas. I was. I've started playing around with the ephemera pieces, and just look at that. I mean, already, instant Christmas card. It's just stunning. This was just an ephemera, but you could stamp, you know, you could stamp that piece. So now if I flip this over, I don't have any glue around there, right? So now I can take my dimensionals and add one in each corner. 2, 3, 4. Peel off the backings. The brick one. Who said the brick one? That was Cynthia. Yeah, the brick one is so cool too. I want them all. I really do. I don't own them all, but good to see you, Marcia. Okay, now I'm going to take my base. This is just regular cardstock, by the way. You can see the difference between the 3 colors. So this is, if I can put these close to each other, you can see it just when you kind of turn it to the side. But the dark side of the Pretty Peacock two-toned is pretty similar to the regular cardstock, but it does have a flatter, smoother surface, right? So again, that's what they're recommending for doing your foiling on. You can also use our smooth basic white cardstock. That's something that people have been using. Vellum, designer paper. People are foiling on designer paper. So now we have that set there. For this one, I'm gonna flip it over to the light side. And I know it's not super light, but it's light enough to cause a difference. And you could still take and put your writing on there with a regular pen. You wouldn't need a white gel pen or anything, although we have white gel pens. Okay, so there's that. And I wasn't worried about the tape this time because it's just gonna go straight down onto the inside of my card. I don't wanna put this up on dimensionals because if I did, then I would have, you know, I would cause bumps on the front of my card. Elena, thank you, Elena. Of all the nature bundles, I can never decide. Grunge was my first one. So yes, I love them all, says Joy. I wish SU would come up with seal adhesive that was in different sizes. Oh, narrower or wider. Put that in the suggestion box, Susan. That's a great idea. And does this work with the Spellbinders Glimmer Machine? I've heard that our hot foil dies work with other hot foil machines because they are offering a class. Stampin' Up! Is offering a class, and you can purchase the class separately, but it comes free with the purchase of our system. And people were saying, well, why would they offer it separately if it comes free when you buy the system? Like, that's going to cause a lot of confusion. And the reason why is because people are using other hot foil systems, like the Spellbinders Glimmer Machine. So my guess is yes. I don't want to be bound to that answer, but I'm thinking that's a yes for that. Okay, so you could use the dies with other systems. Beautiful, beautiful. White Willow works great because it's smooth. Okay, good to know. I've heard that too. I haven't tried White Willow yet. It would be a great Christmas card, but you know what? Green is like all year. Don't you agree, Sally? So you could do it at any time of year. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I'm just going to do this for this one here. I'm going to use the Banner Sayings stamp set, and I'm going to stamp out, I think it's this one here. So we'll grab our Pretty Peacock ink again, and we'll ink up the one that says wishing you good things, which I think is one of the best sayings you could say in a lot of cards. Actually, let's do this. Will I get 2 out of here? Oh, I won't. Okay, that's okay. I'm going to just do 1. 1? Where's my finished card? There it is. Okay, I'm going to do 1, and we're going to stamp that. We'll put it against the Stampin' Pierce mat so you can see it better. We're going to stamp that, wishing you good things. I'm stamping that with our Pretty Peacock ink. And then I'm going to punch another coordinating little flag image here with the banner punch here, closing up our ink. Thank you. Tear and tape type rolls into, yes, you could. So Denise, I think you're answering Susan's request about having narrower, the narrower, let's see if I can get this out of here. My tear and tape gets stuck in my little caddies. Here it is. So she's saying, Denise is telling you that this is slightly narrower. Oh, sorry, there it is. This is slightly narrower. So if you needed a narrower tape, you could use that. But yeah, a tape runner is nice, isn't it? Okay, I'm going to put this on here. I'm going to kind of off kilter it so that we see we see the gold more like a shadow underneath it, like that. And then for this, I'll add this with dimensionals on the back side. 1, 2. Okay, again, we're not worrying about the clock today, guys. So if you have to go and come back, you can. You love it? Thank you. All right, so I've got that on here, and then we're gonna add that in this little cluster area where the leaves connect. So it looks like they're all kind of emulating from that spot. And then another thing that I added to my finished card was some pearls. So I'm just gonna show you, again, the finished card. I'm gonna clean up a little mess here. This is the finished card versus the non-finished card. I just added the iridescent basic pearl jewels using the sticky end of the Take Your Pick tool. So I just brought in more white that way because this is white. It's the only white on the card, so I thought it'd be fun to have a few little white glitzy embellishments. We will move the stamps over here. We'll move the tools back over here. Cleaning up. We're cleaning up. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put this die back. These magnets, by the way, are from Stampin' Storage. I do love their stuff, you guys. So if you need a way of storing your dies so that they're connected to a magnet, I love their magnets. I'm gonna move all of this. I'm gonna move it all. We're moving this too. So that is the finished card. So fun, right? And no two are exactly the same. I mean, they kind of look the same, but not quite. Thank you. Let's do another one, shall we? Let's do another. Oh, I want to show you this. This here is a card done with just the foiling die. This was given to me by Susan Campfield, my upline. And she used little butterflies that come in another set. That's the butterfly one. She also used these little words that come in another set. So these are hot foiled, or the words are hot foiled, and this is hot foiled, and then these are just die cut. Okay. All right. Next, let's do this card next. Okay, so we're gonna bring in, this is the card we're gonna make. We're gonna bring in another bundle that you can purchase. It's a Luxe Alphabet Numbers and Alphabet and Numbers hot foil dies, but it also has regular dies in it. So you get the hot foil ones, which are always indicated in the gold tone, and then you get the other dies in here. So you have 2 sets, and here you can definitely see the difference between the two. Again, softer gray, brighter gray, shinier, softer feel, shinier feel. All right. So we're gonna take and heat up the numbers, this one here, and then we're gonna die cut them. So we're gonna taking these 2 dies out of here. Before I go ahead and do this, I'm gonna show you something that I shared with you on Wednesday, and show you what I did to improve it. Okay, I'm seeing some questions. Hang on. Can you do one with foil first and then stamp? Yes, we were talking about that earlier, Denise. You can do all your foiling before you're stamping. Like if you're gonna do some mass production, just foil them all and then stamp them, or you can do it the other way. So I've done it both ways and it works. For this particular card we're doing now, we're doing the inking after the foiling. So here is where I'm gonna show you that you can do it either way, okay? So we'll keep these out. We'll move this off to the side. And we're gonna bring in some cardstock. We need some cardstock to work with here. I'm just gonna cut, actually we'll use this one for the card base because it's already cut to size. So we have a 4 1/4 score line in our 5.5 by 8.5 inch piece. We have our card base ready to go. We'll just give that a crease. With the white, it looks like mistletoe. Oh, well, there you go. It's even Christmasier. And then for the front of the card, we do need some white for our foiling. And I'm cutting this down to an exact quarter sheet because I want to be able to trim afterwards. So we're going to start out with a bigger piece than what we need because these numbers have a definite direction to them, I thought it'd be best to do it that way. So let's take and move this off to the side, this off to the side, put this where I'm going to remember to find it. All right, so we're going to start with a result that looks like this, and I'm going to show you how to get that. Let's bring in our hot foiling machine again. Stampin' hot foil machine, and we're going to plug it in. That's the first step. Grab our plug. There it is. Oops. Ugh. Ugh. Hang on. My outlet is far away from my table. So, all right, where is it? There it is. Okay, so we have plugged it in and we're zoomed way far in. Sorry about that. So we just plugged it in, okay? And you can see the red light is flashing. We have our paper ready. We have our die ready that we want to do. Let's get our foil ready. So let's move this for a minute and bring our trimmer back. And then we will cut our foil. Because we have a slightly smaller size, I'm going to take and measure this. I'll use my ruler here. Our die is a little over 3, so 3.5-ish by 2.5-ish should work. And another thing that I've been doing, you guys, is taking and I think I'm going to put them in like a little storage container, but I've been taking my extra pieces and just kind of putting them in an extra pile also, so that when I need scraps, I can still use them up. That's probably the hardest part about the foil is like you feel like you're wasting little pieces, right? So, all right, so 3.5 by 2.5. Let's grab our silver and we'll unroll it. And I like to cut it this way where I lift this up by tucking this under here. And we're gonna cut at 2.5 inches. Just keep unrolling. 2.5. I like using the trimmer for cutting, by the way. I did start off by using my scissors, but I felt like I wasn't getting my lines straight and all that. I saw your question. Hang on just a minute, Kathy. Okay, so we're gonna trim at 2.5. Then we can, oops, did I not trim? Oh, it didn't cut. 2.5. Let's try that again, Rachel. Oh, maybe I did cut. It just didn't slice all the way through. Okay, and then you roll it. And you set it up. Look at it's see-through. Like you can see my hand through there. Kinda. It's very, very thin. It's a special foil. You can't just use any foil. And then by 3.5. And we'll trim that here. Like that. And I'm gonna set that in my foil to be used pile. So the letters and numbers measure. Each one is about an inch tall, I would say. Yeah, I would say an inch with the borders, about an inch tall. And the same for the letters, they're the same. So an inch by probably 3/4 of an inch wide. So here's our foil, we have our die ready. This is still heating up over here. Let me bring this back over so you can see it as we go through the process. So you just need your foil, your die, and your paper ready for when this is about to beep at us. And then I want you to look closely. There's grid lines. There's grid lines on this surface. So you can technically do some math with those grid lines and try to get your die in a certain spot so that it's centered where you want it on your cardstock, okay? So I am now looking at those as I'm going to put this on here. And I'm gonna put it on there with this tool because that way, instead of just laying it on there, I can kind of shimmy it. I've got the ability to move it where I want it, angle the letters and all that. With the white, it looks like, oh, that I just read that one, sorry. Heat embossing is raised, foiling is flat. Thank you for sharing that because I didn't catch that question. Yes, heat embossing is a different process. It's with powders and it gives you a raised surface. Foiling is flat, but also can be kind of a debossed. I was calling it flat at the last live, but you can also sometimes feel a little bit of the, here, I'll bring this piece back. sometimes you can even feel a slight indentation, and you can kind of see it on the back side that there's a little bit of an indentation in some areas, depending on the pressure. You don't need to have it pressed in. In fact, that could be part of this reason too, right? So just note that, you know, it's supposed to be a flat feeling, but if it's debossed a little bit, that's okay too. Okay, what else do I want to tell you? Stampin' Up! Says it works best on two-tone cardstock, smooth cardstock, our basic weight, vellum, window sheets even, you guys, pearlized specialty paper, designer paper. You guys were mentioning white willow cardstock. We talked about, what else did we talk about? Anything that's basically non-porous or non-textured works great. Now you can do it on those other ones, but it doesn't give you as smooth of a surface. Okay, this is what I'm going to show you. Can my hot foiling dies, can my regular dies be used for hot foiling? Please don't, but I did accidentally. I put the wrong die on my surface. This is the look you're supposed to get, and not that. There, that's better, okay? You're supposed to get this look, but I put the wrong die on there. Hot foiled it. I did get that result, but when I cut it, all my foil lines are going to disappear anyways. So I'm going to talk about that card next because we're doing the alphabet and numbers set right now. Did you hear the beep? The beep went on, and now we can press this button, add this die. Doesn't matter which order you do that, but I'm going to go ahead and try to position this so that it's centered. I think I'm going to place it right about there. And then I'm going to look at how my cardstock is going to go on here. That looks centered that way. That looks pretty centered that way. Okay, so I'm going to lay my cardstock like right in this zone when it's ready to roll. So it's next to this one line here and the two lines in on that side. So the grid lines are great for that. All right, use your grid lines. You can see my 1 and my 4, the lines in them are going straight up and down. But again, make your piece larger than what you need if you need to have something in an exact space on your card. How tall are the letters and numbers? We measured it just a minute ago. They're about an inch tall and about, well, it depends on the letters or numbers, but most of them average about 3/4 of an inch wide. I can tell from looking at them this way too. What size are the little squares on the hot surface? Great question. I think they're a centimeter. It looks to be like those are centimeter increments, and they are. Those are centimeters. So you can't necessarily, you know, equate it to the imperial inches measurement, but it gives you a guide, so that's good. Okay, we heard that. So now this is ready to go. We're ready to put the foil on. Foil is next. Shiny side down. Make sure you get it right on your surface. I love how it kind of like grabs it and warms it, and you can kind of see the paper melting as you go. And then we'll lay this down using my fingertips here. You can see it's not perfectly straight, but that's okay. I'm going to grab my shim, and I'm going to try not to move this cardstock when I add my shim. That's probably the hardest part, is not having that cardstock move on me. And then I want this on top of that, and it doesn't matter which side you use for your shim or your spacer. But now we can unplug, and again, you can push it down, you can lift it up. I'm an Apple computer user, so I tend to tip mine up to pull it out. Lift this up, and again, you can do all your layering on top of your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine so that you don't have any risk of movement. I gotta zoom out a bit here. But I haven't had an issue personally myself, and I kind of like having it right in front of me when I do it. Keep your finger here on top of this to help keep this shim and spacer down. Let me bring it in a little bit more. Make sure it's all lined up, and then slowly start to crank. And you want to go slow. They tell you to go slow so that you're keeping that connection of the rollers onto the hot dies. Don't want to speed the process up. You can pull it out like this. See, I'm not touching any of the gray area. It's not hot on my hands. I'm gonna put that down in front of me again. I don't necessarily need this because I can feel that it's not super hot, but it does protect your surface. You can peel this off, Then you can take this one, which gets hotter feeling. This one feels a little bit hotter. Peel it all off and look at, oh, you guys, this is so cool. Let's zoom in. All right. What size is, oh, we've already done that. And then what size is the hot plate measure? It's about 5 3/4 by 6 3/4. I'm going to take and grab this off of here. See, I didn't touch the button yet. When you grab it, you don't have to touch the button, but this releases the magnet. We'll bring that over to this silicone little piece here and put it off to the side to dry. I'm going to grab this, bring it over here to dry. Let's do the peel and reveal. And then I can hear operatic singing right now. It's so pretty. Oh, it's so pretty, you guys. Look at how gorgeous that is. Okay, I'm gonna put this over here in my to use later pile if I can. And I'm bringing in some inks. Okay, we're taking a break from this for just a second, and I'm going to talk about this card. So this card I shared with you on Wednesday, 2 days ago, but I had my flat letters. So I had done all my letters, and then I had used them flat. I didn't put an adhesive sheet back here. Candace said, would an adhesive sheet work on there? And I said, yes, you can put it on there after you hot foil, and then you die cut. So you first hot foil, then put the adhesive sheet on, then you die cut. Well, Rachel decided to get to give that a try, but she wanted them thicker too. So I took and put an adhesive sheet on the back. Then I put another layer of two-tone cardstock and another adhesive sheet. And so what happened is these letters, even though they're a little bit thicker feeling, they have like the impression from the die cutting in them too. So there's bumpy surfaces on some of the areas, just so you know. But I took and added those in place of my letters that I had here. And I feel like it's a little bit better look because they're raised up a little bit higher. But just know that it's gonna do that to your dies. It's gonna give a lot more pressure to cut through that thick layer. So that's that card. Where are we putting finished cards, Rachel? I don't know. I don't know where I put my other ones. We'll just put it back on the table. We'll find them all at the end. Okay, so for this, do you see how that one isn't quite straight up and down? So after we do some coloring on here, I'm going to do my cutting. I'm going to do my coloring first and then my cutting. These are adhesive sheets. That's why I brought them over. We'll put those out of the way. Let's take our blending brushes, and 3 colors I chose were Timid Tiger and Strawberry Slush. And then I brought in Daffodil Delight for a slightly brighter yellow. And we're going to start with the lightest color first. Grabbing our blending brush. I keep them in these Tailored Expressions little containers. I get them through Stampin storage. You can find them in my favorite extras. Checking questions again to see. If the shim has static, maybe run the Embossing Buddy over it. Yes, they did mention that, Tracy. Thank you for saying that. The Embossing Buddy can reduce static. You can also do that to your cardstock beforehand, before the foiling. They said if you're having issues with overfoiling or that extra heating that I had happen here, they said you could do the Embossing Buddy to reduce the static, or to reduce the problem with it connecting. I hope they'll offer a cord replacement. The connection looks a little fragile. I haven't had issues with my Apple computers or anything like that. It's like the cords last forever. So even though it might look like a fragile type of cord, it's I'm guessing that they make them pretty strong, Sally. But yeah, I've never had issues with my cords for my Apple computers break on me. And it's a similar type of cord. I'll show you. I'm going to unplug my computer right here. So this is the type of cord attachment I have for my Apple computer. And this is the type of cord attachment that we have for the system. So you can see they're quite similar, magnetic little cords. But if you have an issue, I mean, if you do happen to get an issue with part of your system and it's within the guaranteed time, you can contact Stampin' Up. They're very good about that sort of thing. Okay, we're inking up our blending brush with the Daffodil Delight, and we're just going to put some glow of color. And I'm not even worried about removing some of the color first. I'm just gonna go ahead and go right on here and start swirling the color where I want it. I want a nice heat of yellow right there, and I want some down here. Kind of doing like thinking of this in pieces of pie, like 6 pieces of pie. So I'm doing 1, 2, then I'll do a couple more, then I'll do a couple more, okay? So now we have that yellow glow, and it's also coloring the letters when we're doing this. We're gonna go with Timid Tiger next, and grabbing our blending brush with that one. I do have a smaller blending brush assigned to that one. It doesn't matter for this particular process what size you use, it's up to you. And come down here, do some orange down here. So fun. And then our last color is the Strawberry Slush. It looks more substantial up close. Okay, that's good. Maybe that's all we needed to see was me to bring it right up to the screen. And then we'll do some pink in here. So much fun. Right now, my foil looks as if it has kind of like gone through the ringer. It's not as shiny. So now what we do is we take our tissue, and you can see, here, I'll just show you on a white side. Here's a white side. There's no ink on that. I'm just gonna go ahead and swirl to kind of wipe the surface of my foil, and there's the ink that was removed. So there is ink that's sitting on top of your foil when you do that process. So you just wanna like wipe it off. And that releases the shine again. Okay, now we're gonna move these. I'm so glad I have all these surfaces, you guys. I'm gonna bring this in. And I'll show that to you in a minute. Okay, so we're gonna die cut now. Now we're ready to die cut. So we're gonna go from here to here. Bring in the machine. We haven't done any die cutting yet, have we? So for die cutting, you wanna just have your regular sandwich that you normally have. You wanna have your 1, your 2, your 3, which is your scratchier mat, right? I'll put it this way so you can read the numbers. 1, 2, 3. And then you put another third, number 3, another number 3 on top in between to sandwich these two. So we're gonna put this on here, and then we're gonna lay our dies onto that little area so we can cut it out. I recommend having some sticky notes, and thank you, Susan, for my cute little pad of paper sticky notes here. Rachel's die cutting holder in placer. I love these. So I'm just gonna lay this like that, and then I'm going to stick down one of those, and I think that's good enough. I think I only need 1. And then what you'll want to do is keep this nice and flat as you're feeding it through. Lined up, feed it through. Okay, let's flip that so you can see it's cutting through on my numbers. Let me go ahead and peel this up. Removing that sticky tape. Sticky notes, that's what it's called. So there we go. There is the result of that. Now we can take and cut, and you'll see here on the edges, it's a good thing we had it bigger because you can see that it's darker, especially on that edge. You can see like a bright pink edging. Do you see all these pretty letters or numbers? Sorry. These can be put on another project later on. They have like just gorgeous color within them. So I'm just gonna add them to my pile. If I can, they're staticky. Hang on. Let's just bring this over here again. Let's get our last remaining letter pieces out of there. And we're gonna add them to our little pile of letters and numbers. We need containers now, little containers with separate slots so that we can store all of these goodies that we don't want to throw away. Oh my gosh, and here's my old Love You, the ones that were flatter. I didn't want to throw them away either, so I just stuck them on a piece of copy paper. So those are ready to use elsewhere. All right, now that we've got that die cut, let's do the trimming of the edges. And here is my trimmer. So this is where I have the ability to trim off 1/4 of an inch on each side. It is fairly centered right now, so I'm not too worried about that. This looks like a slightly wider than this side, so I might go just under 1/4 of an inch on this side and just over 1/4 of an inch on this side. But when I do that, I want to take and look at my number 1, my number 4, and my number 8. And I want this line that's going through there to be straight through all 4 of them. So there is a slight, if you can see here, there was a slight little angle that it was off on. It was slightly off. So I'm going to kick this back just a little bit. Make sure those lines still look straight. And we'll trim up about 1/4 of an inch on that side. And then we'll use, see how that's not exactly perfect? Then we'll use this edge to do all the other 1/4 inch cuts. So we'll put it right up to here at 1/4 of an inch. And now on this one, we want to go to the 3 3/4. There's the 3 3/4 because we're making it 1/4 of an inch on each side. So 1/4 and 1/4, but that does bring it pretty much to the 1/4 of an inch on this side too. And then here, we'll go right up to the 5 inch on this side. And now we have our perfect little layer that we can put on the top of our card. The key with this is we want it to look like it's floating. We don't want it to look as if it is sinking into the card. We don't want this middle area touching the inside. We want a shadow under it. So we're gonna bring in mini dimensionals for this card. And with this, and I'm gonna put it against the dark background of the Stampin' Pierce mat, we're gonna just load on some dimensionals here. And I think that one wasn't too big for that space. Hang on. Let me put that one there. I'm gonna grab my scissors and do a few little strip cuts here too, because we can put one here. Maybe we can stick one right in here. This is where we'll stick that. Okay, bead containers. Thank you, great idea. Bead containers work great for splitting up those letters and numbers, especially if it has 26 departments or more, like if you have the numbers, right? I love that, great idea. Let's do some mini dimensionals stuck up close around here. So if we can just kind of keep the areas right around all of this up onto dimensionals so that they stay separate from the surface, that's all you can ask for. We'll put one here and here, and then we'll cut one more and kind of stick it in that gap. Actually, I think this will fit right there. Does that look good, you guys? I think we got it. So peel all those off. Now, if you wanted to do any layering of like ribbons or twines, you know, any wrapping of anything around it, or if you wanted to have something on here and trim it, this would be a good time to do it. In fact, I think we'll do this card slightly different than the one I have done, but let's just add all those dimensionals anyways. We'll put one in each corner. All right. And then we're gonna prepare our sentiment strip. So our sentiment strip is gonna be with the banner sayings, stamp set, and punch. We'll grab another scrap. Okay, and we will stamp out, let's move this off to the side. We'll stamp out the word. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. This time we're gonna choose the one that says happy birthday, because hello, this just looks like a birthday card already. So we'll stamp that with our pink color, our strawberry slush, onto some white scrap paper here. And then we'll punch it out with our banner punch. And this time I'm going to use the one that's in the middle here. And we'll just punch that out so it's kind of off to the left more than off to the right. Left justified. Okay, so there's that. And then we have some silver foil. So I'm just gonna grab some silver foil. Fun, fun, fun. And we'll punch out another one of those. You don't waste if you have a strip like this. This is a good way to punch with this punch. We have 2 pieces that we're gonna layer together, and we're gonna kind of layer them more whimsical. So they're not like a perfect shadow, they're more like a tilted shadow on that silver, like that. Then we'll add a dimensional on the back side of the end of it and put some seal adhesive or a glue dot or glue or whatever on the other end. We'll flip this over. We'll add this. Oops, did I peel the backing off? I did not. We'll add this to the top, right like that. And then we'll flip it over. This is where I was saying you want to do any wrapping, adhering, trimming before adding it to the front of your card, which I didn't do on the one that I had finished. So now let's put that onto this layer here. And because it just needs a little bit more silver, you can add rhinestones onto it and make it look like that. And see here, I didn't trim, but I just thought, it's fine. It's got a fun little doohickey on the end there. So there is that finished card. Let me zoom out so I can go up like this instead. Just joined in. Hi, Karen. Yeah, I've shared 2 different cards so far. We're talking about the Stampin' hot foil system. It's new as of today for everybody. You can purchase it and you can make some beautiful creations. So here are, here's that card. The other card that we did so far, where is that green one? And I'm sure you guys know where it is. That's usually what happens, is I look at the live comments after and everyone's yelling out, it's over there. Okay, so here's another finished card we've done. This one we just talked about. This one we mentioned. Okay, so far, look at all those fun creations, you guys. What time is it? 11:15. I want to show so much more. Let me talk about the price of the hot foil system again and give you some options. So here you have this wonderful contraption. This and all the things that come with it, right? Dies, foil, that stuff, that comes separately. The Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine comes separately. But here's some thoughts to think about. $160 in the US for the hot foil system. You could get $25 off if you wanted to do the join Stampin' Up deal, okay? When you join with Stampin' Up as a discount shopper / demonstrator, you pay $100 to join, but you get in return a $125 coupon to use towards an order. Could be your first one or any of them. Stampin' Up just recently changed the starter kit to this kind of a transition for people joining Stampin' Up, because it kind of solves a lot of the problems that we used to have. In the past, we could only pick up to $125 worth of product in our kit. But right now, Stampin' Up is having a join fee, and you get a coupon with it that you can apply towards any order. So you can go over, you can go above and beyond your $125 worth of product that you're getting on that product credit, right? You can, or you can choose not to, redeem another little code for 8 catalogs. Some people don't want to have the business supplies. They don't want to have those catalogs. They feel guilty when they get them in the starter kit because they're like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to give them to anybody because I'm a discount shopper. You don't have to redeem them. So there's an optional redemption of 8 catalogs if you want. So yeah, $100, you get $125 worth of product. There's your $25 savings right there. So you could put that coupon towards the hot foil system and save $25. You also, once you go above that $125 coupon code that you're using as a new demonstrator, everything that's above that is instantly 20% off. because you are officially a demonstrator. So you get the hot foil system for a lower price, plus anything you get with it is discounted at least 20%. I hope that makes sense. As a person who doesn't want to join, here's some things to think about. If you order through yourself, well, you already are a demonstrator. Okay, if you order through somebody else, ask them if they have ordering specials. Sometimes they do. Maybe they do events where they do ordering specials, whatever. I do offer ordering specials to my customers that order through me. If you place at least a $50 order through me, you get that month's All-Star Video Class Bundle, which is a series of 12 videos on a particular suite. This month, it's the Moonlit Flora suite of products that we're featuring. So if you ordered it this month from me, you would get that tutorial sent to you in an email. Thank you. You also earn loyalty points for every 50 you spend through me. So this system right here would earn you 3 loyalty points just by itself, okay? If you decide to spend 500, you get 10 loyalty points and you can cash them in for a free stamp set. Anyways, 10 equals a free stamp set if you use them up within the year. The other thing to think about, whether you're a demonstrator or a customer or a wanting to be new demonstrator, is that we have rewards. Stampin' Up! Has a rewards program. If you've collected any rewards, you can apply those rewards to reduce the cost of your machine that you're getting, your system that you're getting. On the other hand, if you don't have any rewards, you're earning them. So if you buy this $160 system and anything that goes with it, you're earning 10% to use towards a future order. So this system here is giving you $16 to use later. Think about all those different things when you're buying that you can take advantage of, okay? All right, should we stop? I have another beautiful card, and it's actually my favorite, but I think we have to stop because it's already an hour and 20 minutes into the live, and I need to respect that. Watch this on replay really fast, and then you can see it all quicker, okay? But I will come back on the next live. I think I'm just gonna have to do it on the next live and show you more, because I'm completely in love with this, and I wanna answer all your questions. If there is anybody that has questions, chime in before this live ends. Heidi says she has a sound issue. Make sure that you log out and come back in, Heidi, if you can hear me, or if you're reading the closed captioning or whatever. Maria Christina's waiting for her machine to arrive. It's so fun. Just start Googling Stampin' hot foil system and see all the things that people are sharing. It's amazing. Elisa Tilsner just shared this card where she's using that background one, and it's making it an even hour and 30 minutes, says Heidi. Love it. Where she used the big background one, but she only put the foil on partially on it. It's so pretty. OMG. So I did it, you guys. I ordered that hot foil die, and I expedited it so that I'm getting it soon. And I'm going to try something similar because I just thought it was stunning. So yeah, we all influence each other. Advantages if you have the big shot. With this particular system, it does not work, Marcia. Sorry about that. We did share that earlier. The big shot opening is too narrow. This is made to go with the Stampin' Up! Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, the larger one of the two. You're welcome, Susan. Don't stop. Well, I can at least show you this card again too. This is Susan's. Oh gosh, you guys, if I kept going, it would be another 45 minutes. This is Susan's card that we got to make with her on June 28th. And so I have something using this bundle of products the next time we get together. So I'm excited to share that with you. It's a stamp, die, and no, it's not a stamp die. It's a die and mask bundle. I'll show you the actual bundle. So it comes with masks and it comes with dies and dies. So you get the hot foil dies and you get cutting dies, detailed dies with it, right? So you get the two different kinds of dies, and then you can get the mask if you bundle them all together to save. The masks keep going. You are? Okay, I can keep going, you guys. I'll keep going. Too many of you are saying keep going. So here's the masks. You get 4 of them. You don't necessarily need this 4th one if you're going to be doing your foiling to give you this look, because this look already has the middle of the body. We're going to keep going. You guys, all right, you talked me into it. Let's keep going. All right, let's plug her in again. Let's go. Let's just do it. We're plugging it in. I've plugged it in. We got the red light flashing. I'll try to be speedy, all right? It doesn't look like you guys have a lot of questions. So if we don't have a lot of questions, it might go faster. I'm gonna prepare my cardstock. We need the trimmer. We need, what do we need here? These dies go over here. We need our beautiful, you guys, you're gonna love this. This card it's my favorite. Let's prepare the pieces. We need a base. And this is 5.5 by 8.5. We're gonna score it at 4.25, but we're gonna turn it into a fun fold because that's what Rachel likes to do. Let's go, yay. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Okay, so we're gonna score again at 2 1/8. So 2 1/8 and 4.25, and that gives us our Z fold. Let's use our bone folder, crease it, fold it first this way, make sure everything's lined up, crease it, and then we'll fold it back again, and we'll crease it again. Okay, so we're gonna make a Z fold card. We're gonna do a couple layers on the front, and I am gonna pre-cut both layers. You could technically do this as one whole piece, which would be 5.25 by 8. This would be the one whole piece if you're gonna do it this way. But I find that it's easier to cut through an embossed layer before it's embossed. Unless you have like a rotary cutter, but this is a sliding cutter and it can sometimes catch on some of the embossed areas. So we're gonna pre-cut. So we have 2 layers that are 4 by 5.25. While we're waiting for this to heat, we might as well do the embossing. Here is the Floral Spray embossing folder. Yum. One of the prettiest embossing folders ever. Let me move these out of the way. Again, we're still heating over here. We still have the red light flashing. Okay, so it's not quite ready yet. So in the meantime, let's grab our base platform and let's grab our embossing folder. Again, Floral Spray. And we're gonna grab our 2 layers. We need our gray platform too, which is number 4. We're gonna add these into our embossing folder in this direction. Like that. Oh, you know what? This one is smaller. I started up, no, it's not, it's bigger, it's bigger. Never mind. Go back to what you're doing, Rachel. Don't confuse them. All right, so we've got our layers in here. And if you're really picky, you can shift that. See how they're off a little bit? I'm not worried about it. I'm gonna grab my gray, or sometimes it's blue, depending on when you bought it. But 4, it's number 4. We're gonna put that on top and this on the bottom, and we're gonna lead with the creased end of our embossing folder. I have had people use the embossing folders with the other end going in first and mangle embossing folders. So always lead with your creased end first. It is turned on, but my hair is in front of it. How's that? Maybe when I walk away, the sound is going, sorry about that. Okay, I'm gonna roll it through. It's a 3D. It's a 3D embossing folder. Took a little bit of muscle there, Rachel. Okay, we have our embossed layers ready to go. We have our base ready to go. We're gonna move these because we don't need them anymore. We're gonna move all of these because we don't need them, because we're gonna put the platform through next. Actually, we will be cutting again. So I'm gonna bring the cutting, bring 3 back. Sticky note, number 1 and number 2. Okay, maybe we need all of it. I don't know. Anyways, it's back. Oh, Okay, let's go ahead and put this over here for now with some Granny Apple Green cardstock scraps. We're gonna do the butterfly card, you guys. I'm so excited. I am so excited. Not this card. This one's the one that Susan designed, but it's got a similar look to it because we're using similar products. Okay, so again, these are the ones that Susan created. These little guys here come from this bundle. That's where you get those. All right, let's bring these back and put them in a pile because we want to make sure we show them at the end. And these are our finished layers. We have our adhesive back in place. Oh, we gotta get our dies. We need our dies now. Those are over here. So we have our beautiful Butterfly Flight hot foil dies. These are the ones that do the hot foiling. We need to cut our foil. So this is the one that we're gonna put on there. Let's cut our hot foil. We're gonna use silver. Sometimes it's hard to find the beginning. Oh, there it is. There's the beginning. And we'll grab, did you hear that? It's ready. It's ready, but we're not gonna do it quite yet. Let's hang on. Let's get our foil in there. We need a piece that's about 3.5 inches in width. So we'll lay it here, put this arm of the trimmer down, and trim it up. Okay, now we're gonna set our die onto our platform here. And I really don't care where it's gonna go because on our paper that we're gonna do the hot foiling onto, it won't matter. All right. Hello, Linda from Manitoba. When you first put your foiling plate on the machine, is that surface magnetic? I don't know. I don't think it's magnetic. I think it's just the dies that are magnetic. No, the surface is not connecting to my magnetic tool. Of course, don't lay that on for a long time because this is plastic, this is hot. But no, the surface is not magnetic, I don't think. I'm gonna move this really quick. Yeah, no, it's not magnetic. There's no pull against the actual machine. That's a great question because that would have been hard for the die to move, although it would keep things steady, right? But no, there's no magnetic on there. And did I tell you also that, so we've partnered with Spellbinders. Spellbinders does have a current machine that's out there called the Glimmer hot foil system. And they are also in the process of doing a new version. They partnered with Stampin' Up. Stampin' Up got to release this one first. So I'm not sure if it's gonna be exactly the same look or a similar look or whatever. My guess is it's gonna be similar. But yeah, we're in partnership with Spellbinders for our system that we have here. Okay, this is, oh, I forgot to push the button. Push the button, Rachel. So after the red is flashing, you put the die on, the red is flashing, then it beeps when it's ready, you put the die on, push the white button. Now it's flashing yellow to say, hey, not quite ready yet, wait. We have this ready and we need paper. We need our paper. I'll just use this one. We'll just use this white piece here. It doesn't have to be the exact same size. It can be smaller, it can be larger. Okay, so this foil side will go down and the white on top of it, the surface that we want facing down, the surface of the foil we want facing down. Seems confusing at first, but it actually works that way. And then, what else do we need? We just need our inks. We need our inks and we need, oh gosh, this is so much fun, you guys. We're doing my favorite card. Of all of them, we're doing my favorites. I'm so giddy. By the way, I did it on vellum too, so you can get that look on vellum. So pretty, you guys. So gorgeous. All right, I'm gonna bring the inks over. Oh, you know what we could be doing while we're waiting for this? We could punch. Let's do a quick punch. Here are the 2 layers of our card. When we open up our Z-fold card, we're gonna see both layers side by side, but there's no place to write. So what we're gonna do, and did you hear the beep? Yes. We're gonna punch. Now, when this is inside the card, we have a space to write on. There we go. Okay, it beeped. We have the green light. We can start doing our sandwich. Our foil, shiny side down. Our paper on top of that. I'm using my fingernails, but don't put your fingers on there. Then the shim. Then the spacer. Unplug. Bring in the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Okay, and then we're gonna lift this up, bring it over here, guide it in so it's straight. Hold down here with your thumb to keep everything from shifting and moving around. Don't ever touch the gray area. The white areas can be touched though. And then we'll slowly crank it through. Go slow because you want all of those rollers in there, both of the rollers, connecting with the foil and releasing it onto the paper with the use of heat and pressure. Now we can take the whole thing. See how I'm holding it? I'm only touching the white areas. The shim and the spacer are preventing me from burning my fingers. We'll put this back over here. And we'll put it in front of us. And here we go. Let's take off all these layers. Get your finger under there and slowly peel. All right, grab, let it sit over here, push the button to release it, let it cool off and move everything out of the way. That step's done. Yay, hooray, hooray. Let's do a little adhesive on the back side. Let's put it onto our grid paper, like that. And then, oops, I gotta put that somewhere. Then we're gonna bring out our masks and we're gonna start with number 1. And when you lay it on here, you can take your pencil and you can mark this little notch here at the top, okay? So I wanna make sure it's lined up. I'll zoom in here too so you can see. I'm gonna make a little notch here at the top of my little mask. Then I'm gonna grab some more of those fun sticky notes from Susan. Where are they? Here they are. I'll just stick one on each side and that'll keep my mask from moving. So my paper is not gonna move underneath. My mask is not gonna move. I'm gonna use Azure Afternoon because who doesn't love a blue butterfly? Azure Afternoon, an amazing color. So then you just start putting on your color. And I kind of started too bold, but this is where you'd probably want to color a little bit off onto your scrap paper first, Rachel, your grid paper. Okay, now as I'm going around, the color is less, so it's a little softer going on. But boy, that guy got pretty dark in the middle. And then just keep on going in a circular motion to add that ink into those spaces on the mask. We're gonna move this away and you can see what has been done so far. Are you guys talking about burns? Do you see this? I burnt myself. We were at the cabin this past weekend and we were talking about being burnt too, but I was in a hurry in the kitchen. I'm reaching over the waffle maker and I burnt myself right as we're talking about being burned. My mom had aloe vera right there. Okay, see how I lined it up with that notch? And then it helps you to line these up. Then you take your sticky notes, put them back on here. And we're gonna use the same color. We're gonna use the same color because Rachel really loves blue. So we're on mask number 2, using Azure Afternoon again. This time I'm gonna rub a little bit off. And then we're gonna come on here. And if you put it onto the plastic part first, you have an area to grab from because it won't soak into the plastic mask. So you can take and, if you have a lot of color on here, you can pull from it, kind of bring it over and fill in color Thank you so much again for watching this long live. Trying to show lots of ideas. Now this is a whole different, like the first one we did was a stamp and hot dye combo. The next one we did was a stamp and, no, it wasn't a stamp. It was a hot dye and regular dye combo. And this here is a dye, hot dye, regular dye, and mask combo. So every one of these has different little steps in them. Okay, so we filled in all of that. Let's take these guys off and let's move to the next one. So you can see how pretty it looks. We got blue butterflies. And then this last one, we're gonna do a darker blue to fill in. So I wanted all blue butterflies. So they have a nice blue base. We're now gonna come in with a color called Blueberry Bushel. Alaska's checking in. Hi, Terry. Lavender oil for stings. Oh, I should update you on my bite. So it was a bite. I went to urgent care. I went to the emergency room. And I eventually went to my skin doctor before we headed up to the cabin for a long weekend in the boonies. And he assured me, because he had had one just like a few months, or few weeks, I should say, earlier, it was a bug bite. He said, yes, it's a bug bite. Just let it do what it wants to do. And if you want to, you can pop the blister, blah, blah, blah. I didn't want to. So on the 4th of July, it decided to release itself. I had my own little mini firework on my body. Okay, we're coming in with a darker color now. Oh, I didn't hold this down. That would have been wise, Rachel. And I'm kind of pushing a little bit harder on this because I want some deeper blue areas. Thanks, Judy. I'm glad that you're liking this. Everyone's asleep in the house or they're working. My husband's working. My son from California is still, I think he just woke up, but yeah, might as well just keep on going because I have all the cards and it's just making me anxious if I don't get to show them all to you anyways, so. And some of you have to check out, that's fine. Come back and watch it later. And again, just put it on fast replay. I do that with a lot of videos. I just watch them fast. There's our finished blue butterflies. And again, you don't have to do the 4th mask because the 4th one is just the antenna or the bodies also. And they're already filled in on this image. So now that we have the foiling done, now that we have the masking done, we have gorgeous butterflies ready to put on projects. And in this case, with 5 butterflies, you really have options to do a lot. I mean, you can put one on each card. You can make little place settings for a summer party, right? I'm just peeling this off now because it'll make it easier to go through the die cutting machine without getting stickies everywhere. Okay, so pretty. It's like the blue morpho butterfly on my blog. It's my little mascot, you guys. Let's bring in the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine again. Move that out of the way. And we're going to set up our layers. 1, 2, 3. Our paper and our cutting die. Our cutting die, oh, it's right here. So we just lay that on there so that everything looks pretty centered and within the lines evenly. You don't want to have things go off when you're cutting your dies, you guys. When I did my card at Susan's, I'm gonna show you. I was the first one that wanted to do it. Do you see the inside of the middle of this butterfly? It's a little worn away on the gold because I put my Post-it note right through on top of the image. Don't put your sticky notes on top of your images when die cutting. It's good enough in my mind, but I still was sad. I was a little sad. So I'm gonna put a Post-it note up here at the top of the die. And I'm gonna put a Post-it note. Here's my pad on the bottom of the die. Okay, I think they're staying in place. Let's use the cutting mat. What are they called? Yeah, cutting plates. Guide it through. Bring this over here. Oh, we need to die cut some leaves. We need some leaves. So I'm pulling the leaves from this die set also. We have a bunch of leaves. We even have little butterfly bodies in case you want to put like a darker body on them or something. And then we have these tiny little butterflies. Those are the ones that were on that green card. So I'm going to put these here because we're going to use them. And there's all of our gorgeous blue butterflies. Let's set these up. 1, 2, and 3. And then we'll do a couple silvers with this remaining strip here. Actually, I'm going to cut that. There's our remaining strip. And hang on just a minute. Okay, we gotta bring the machine in one more time. One more time, you guys, to get this all cut. Lay that down. Get that leaf back in there. Okay. Oh no, the butterflies moved on me. I'm gonna use a sticky note on the butterflies because I kind of made that space too tiny for them. How many of you have bought the hot foil system? I'm so excited about the hot foiling, Susan. It's just, I don't know. It's so sparkly. It brings me joy. I'm gonna use those vellum butterflies on a project soon too, so stay tuned for them. They're not being used on something today, but you know those vellum butterflies that I just shared with you? I do have a plan. I don't wanna share it yet in case it doesn't work, but I have a plan. So now we have our pieces cut. We're gonna carefully move this aside. We're gonna bring back these pieces and we can now assemble. This piece is gonna go on the inside of our card and we're gonna just add that in there flat. You could use glue, multi-purpose liquid glue. In fact, maybe that's what I should do because my seal is not catching on the bumps of my embossed layer. So we'll just do a light line of glue around the edges. This is the back side of it, by the way. And then we'll go around the circle. Flip it over. And lay that on the inside of our card with 1/8 of an inch of bordering. Oh my gosh, Rachel, you just slipped that all over the place. Slip and slide. I don't think I got any stickies outside though. Okay, there's that. This piece is gonna go on top and we have to make sure the puzzle piece stays together. See how the flower flows like that? So this one's gonna go on top here. And for that, I am gonna put a little bit of seal here. There it comes. And you could either use glue or whatever, but put more adhesive on this side, but stay away from the outer edges. Fold it down, keep it nice and flat. Make sure it's going on the correct way. Then line up these edges here first and lay it into the borders of your card. So you have that 1/8 inch of a border all the way around here, but it's also lined up with the piece underneath. You always do your inside layer on a Z-fold card first, and then you add your outside so it can line up with it. And that has that continuous flow of that design on there. For the butterflies, I'm gonna grab my bone folder. I'm gonna just give it a quick little bend in the middle here to give it that V look. And then we'll do this, and we'll do this. Flip it over, use glue dots. So it has been around for a while. It's been around for at least a few years. I know that I'm aware of Spellbinder's system. I don't know other systems that are out there, but I know that it has been out there. We are not the first. We're not claiming to be the first, but we're the first to have this actual style of hot foiling machine. Okay, so we've got glue dots in the middle, and then we have a couple dimensionals off to the sides here under the wings to give them a bit of a lift. So who has a hot foil system or this Stampin' hot foil system if that is in fact the case for you? Where's my finished card? Oh, you guys, this is so pretty. This is one where you can't see the finished first. So I'm gonna add that here. Okay, the wings are popped up, ready to fly. Then for these, I'm gonna put a glue dot underneath each of the 2 base leaves here. Have a hard time with Stampin' Seal. You know what? Then use the glue or use the tear and tape, right? It definitely has a learning curve to it, Linda. Yeah, I didn't give up on it. I think that was how it works for me. I'm sticking it under the lower left side here. This one is gonna go under the upper right. So kind of balance it out. And I'm just putting the glue dot right underneath that section. And then you can take and kind of roll it towards the body of the leaf if you need to, but it's gonna be hidden. So I'm just gonna stick that right like that. Make sure it's stuck down. One of these guys, I think the bigger of the two, we'll put on with a glue dot. Maybe 2 glue dots, one under each side of the body. Oh, I was gonna do this with dimensionals. That's okay, we'll make this one flat. So that one's gonna go like right here, flying away. And then we have another butterfly. It doesn't matter which ones you use, but I'm kind of making the same card. You keep trying. So you have it. You didn't throw it in the garbage. That's good. Yeah, it's got a different feel than snail adhesive. If that's what you're used to, it's hard to change. Okay, 2 more dimensionals, but we're gonna make them smaller. One right here and one right here. And then the other butterfly, I'm gonna bend, but because it's on the inside of the card, I am not going to put it onto dimensionals. That's gonna go here. So you can kind of see now the shape of the butterflies have a little bit of a lift to them. Can you see that little lift? Okay, and then this one that's gonna go on the inside, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna bend it, curl, curl, but I'm gonna add just the glue dots, nothing under the wings, because when the card opens, I want the wings to feel like they can move if they need to, but they're not like stuck flat down, right? And they're not stuck on dimensionals either. So that will go here, like that. And this one will get a glue dot under that little portion of the leaf. And we'll stick that right under here. One more. One more little butterfly, and we'll just kind of put that maybe right there. You could finish this off with rhinestones. Oh, rhinestones, Rachel, what a great idea. Because there's a lot of silver on there, you might as well bring in more. So let's take our take your pick tool, and why not? Just add a bit more glitz and glimmer. 1, 2, There's some leftovers from another sheet here. 3. We'll do 5. How does that sound? 4, and let's do another small one up here. It's a card that does not have a sentiment, because you can make a card with no sentiment, you guys. It's a card that allows you to choose to do whatever you want with it later on. Do you love the blue on there? Isn't it pretty? I love it. It's so pretty. Here's my other one that I made. Very similar. This little butterfly is floating up a little higher, and I think I will add rhinestones on that one too, but all the cards all together, let's bring them out. And again, you have more butterflies to use later, right? We didn't use them all. You don't have to use them all. You can use half on one card, half on another. Well, there's 5. So you can use 3 on one, 2 on another, or 1 on each. Here they are. I didn't walk you through making that one, but I gave you some tips on it. Lots of ideas. Lots of ideas. Let's put them all out here. Let's just open this one up because it wants to just, and we'll open this one up too. These two just want to they want to spread their wings. All right, and we'll zoom out just a bit. Any questions? I wasn't seeing any questions as we were going. Product of the month, by the way, that's where this flower came from. It's $5 extra with a $75 order right now. Thanks. Yeah, we did go to, it's almost a 2-hour live. Remember, this just released today. There is a very big popularity with it. So if this is something that you have on your wish list, think of all those options that I shared about 45 minutes ago with pricing. You know, you can do it with ordering. You can earn those rewards on it. You can use those rewards on it. You can, through ordering through me, you can earn loyalty points and tutorial videos. You can become a demonstrator / discount shopper and get discounts on your product. There's so many options for making this more affordable for you. So think about all those options, figure out your budget. If you want to get it, you can always wait too. But I tell you, it's gonna stick around. Just like our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine stuck around, it's gonna stick around. Stampin' Up, again, has invested a lot in this. We have future products coming that you will want to just drool over, I'm sure. Oh, good. Thanks, Heidi. Oh, you guys, you're great. And thanks for the reminder, Beth. She said postage goes up on July 12th. I think it's twice a year kind of thing, right? Sometimes they do priority shipping, sometimes they do regular postage, but that's a US thing, by the way, for anyone watching in other markets. My next live will be next Wednesday at 11 a.m. Central Time. I think, yes, 11 a.m. Central Time. We have a craft along coming too. If you are interested in joining the craft along, make sure that you check out my website, go to my latest blog post, scroll down to the bottom and read about that. You can also subscribe to my newsletters so that you can get all kinds of information sent to you right to your email that way. That's it. I'm going to let you guys go. I don't see questions rolling in, so I think we are good to go. And I think hopefully you feel confident in being able to use the Stampin' Hot Foil system in your future creations. Have fun, everybody. Be creative, send out cards, and thank you all so much for joining me. Now I'd like you all to go and stamp your art out. Bye-bye.